And welcome to the station, Kentucky's Conservative Outpost. I'm your host, Tom Fallbush, and I'm joined by Jim Waters and Bob Scott today, and we're going to discuss a project that we hope you might be interested in because we have recognized a need in the state. We feel like that those on the conservative political spectrum, conservative side of the political spectrum like us, Republicans and conservatives say we do not have an outlet in the state that really covers the news and issues and from a sympathetic perspective or from our worldview. And we think that plays a role in our politics, obviously. And look what just happened in our state. We had a Democrat governor get reelected in a overwhelmingly red conservative state. Explain that, and it's hard to explain, actually. I mean, I have friends from all over the country that have called me and say, "What is going on in Kentucky? What just happened? I mean, you guys voted for Trump like 2-1 over Biden, but yet you can't nominate a Republican governor." Well, part of it is just the narrative and just the coverage of politics and news in the state, and things are shaded in a way to really, I think, elevate those on the left and Democrats, and it's because most of our media in this state is large corporate, entities that are, at the very least, they're moderate, but generally they're more left of center because the elite institutions of the state, including corporate America, is a pressure to be more left wing, and so that just carries over into their coverage, even down to your local news, your local TV news. So, with that thought, we were discussing this. So listen, we've got a TV station here, WBNA. It's a full power TV station in Louisville, Kentucky. Word Media Group owns that station. They also own several radio stations in Louisville, WGTK 970, which is the conservative talk station. And so we said, well, hold on, we've got some assets here. We've got some distribution outlets for content. But what we don't have is good local content that is being created that discusses local issues from a conservative perspective, or even just local issues that are from a neutral perspective. Let's just face it, it's just not a lot of good coverage going on, period. So what if we did that? But the challenge is we need to bring on people, bring on reporters, producers, folks that share our worldview that can produce said content, such as newscast, documentaries, investigative reporting, podcast, an online newspaper, lots of things that can be done. Just picture Fox News, right? Fox News is a national conservative news platform, right? They've got Fox News on cable, but they also have Fox Nation. They have Fox News Radio. They've got everything Fox that's on every media platform there is. And so, why don't we have something like that for Kentucky? That covers Kentucky news and local news, even Louisville news and Lexington news and Bowling Green news, but from a conservative perspective. And so we're decided to do that. We feel like this is what we're called to do. When you're given a opportunity and a platform. I think part of it is the Lord puts you there to do some things. And so we feel like we're stewards of this, and we need to do some things to help move the needle politically in the state and from a narrative standpoint. So all that being said, we've launched a project called Kentucky's Voice. Okay, Kentucky's Voice. That is just picture it as the Fox News of Kentucky, right? And one of the programs is this program that you're watching called The Station. This is the Kentucky's Conservative Outpost, the station. But it's going to be one program of many under the umbrella of Kentucky's Voice. But and so I've got my co-hosts here, Jim and Bob, and let's for a minute talk about the need for this. I mean, there is everybody understands our culture speaks the language of media, right? That's our language. We speak English, but we speak it through media. I mean, that's how we communicate to one another. It's how we understand the world. It's how we see the world through social media, through internet, through TV, radio. And so if our voice, if a conservative perspective on politics and in life and culture isn't represented in media, then the other side dominates and it just sways public opinion, and That's it. Bad things happen if good isn't put forward. So, Jim, what are your thoughts on this project?
Well, I'm excited about this, and I'm thinking, too, that we've seen this happen before. I think about, it wasn't that long ago that American conservatives as a whole were in this same position, where the Kentucky conservatives now find themselves in. Before the advent of the nationwide 24-hour cable service, which conservative investors and people like Rupert Murdoch and folks that had the resources invested in a conservative,
That's
media
right. News
outlet.
operation. Yeah.
Well, the important thing to realize about that is there were the impact that had, the results of that were that no longer was it just what corporate America wanted to tell you, corporate news media, but they were forced to cover stories, even the left was.
That's right.
Because we had now a conservative voice, and now we have much more of a full-fledged debate
That's right.
going on public issues. Plus, it also infused energy into the conservative movement, including informing and motivating, I think, a new generation of conservative voters and activists. And it also offered coverage and analysis that was friendly toward faith-based people. It wasn't a Christian, it was a secular operation, but they were not hostile to our values, and hostile to, for example, the pro-life movement or the traditional marriage movement. So I just say, isn't it time that Kentucky had a statewide news organization with a conservative perspective? And if it does, we can see the same thing happen at the state level that we've seen nationally.
Absolutely.
We'll see a much more conservative impact that we can have.
And to your point, it's not even just the way you write the stories. And say I write a story, I might have a conservative bias, or if somebody else, they might have a left. It's not even just how you write the story; it's the stories you choose to cover. Period. So sometimes just stories and issues are just ignored by those that have a worldview that's opposite of ours because they just don't think it's an issue. That's not a concern because who cares if
or conservative sources are not included.
There we go.
You have stories that are simply quote from the liberal side.
That's
it
right.
doesn't offer a true balanced view.
That's right. Or the liberal side is very often portrayed as the default position,
Right.
and if you're an extremist if you believe the other. So the extreme right-wing position is this, but the normal everyday position is this. So that's what a liberal news reporter will do.
But this will change if we can make the impact that I believe this will. I think that, and people, conservative, faith-based people will come to trust this as a source. So some stories there won't be, it'll just be, is it factual? And sometimes I think even the corporate media has a problem with getting things factual and accurate, but they'll come to trust it, and that will be a credible source for conservatives. And we know from the Trump voters here, there's a big group of conservatives out there.
There's a market for this. Absolutely right. So, Bob, there's obviously, I feel like a need for this, but I mean, you've got a heart for these issues. And
a little bit of history. When you look at the founding of Fox News, which was, I want to say October of 1996, when it was founded, and they set a fellow by the name of Roger Ailes into that position to be the first CEO and lead it. There is a huge difference between that entity as it was then and what it is today.
That's
as
true.
It evolved. And I will say this: that entity, and make no bones about it, has always been about making money. And they actually saw the niche where a conservative voice that could come in and fulfill that niche. Not necessarily the ownership being full-fledged conservatives, because the Murdoch family, and especially the children, you definitely would not put them in that conservative vein.
Well, some of them are, but not all of them.
And that's where you've seen a lot of commentators, Tucker Carlson, one of them, Bill O'Reilly, which was kind of self-inflicted, but they haven't been afraid to move along the people that they didn't necessarily like the things that they were saying, even though they were cutting off their own nose to spite their face, in the process. The difference with our concept and what we're doing, we're not doing this, certainly we know that money makes the world go round.
defend democracy.
Misinformation poses a threat to our nation's health.
Climate change is an emergency.
Democratic socialism.
Codify one's right to choose.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Difference with our concept and what we're doing, we're not doing this. Certainly we know that money makes the world go round, but we're not doing this because we're looking to make this a huge profit-centered, driven organization. We're not doing it for that reason.
Yeah. Well, matter of fact, we are a nonprofit. This whole organization is a nonprofit.
That's exactly what I was going to allude to. Is we are a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. So what we're really trying to do is truly on a much localized basis bring unbiased, conservative viewpoint news to the marketplace.
You know, that's a great point, though, even if some of the ownership of Fox News maybe wasn't conservative, but the fact that the market didn't have a conservative voice that has made it profitable. So that's a great indicator of the need. And I know that's something that you had in your presentation was the need. The demand for this. There's a demand for this. But the fact is, we may not be here necessarily in the same role in terms of profitability, but it takes resources to do this.
Exactly right. So well, let's talk for a second what we're going to do here. And if we could, Trey, I'm going to pull up this PowerPoint, and we'll just show you just a couple of items that we're going to try to do. So here are some of the projects that we're going to do. We're going to try to do a nightly newscast in Kentucky for each major Kentucky market, right? So we'll have a TV newscast, right? For say a Lexington version of Kentucky's Voice on television. And so we'll find a station there that will clear this, and there are several that were willing to look at this. And same with Bowling Green, same with Northern Kentucky. Let's go to every major TV market in the state, and let's get a local newscast on that competes with the big four newscast. And it's very doable, and that's so we're also going to do investigative reporting programming. So if you're somebody that likes 60 Minutes, for example, those type of programs, let's do a Kentucky version of that, of what's going on. Let's do a deep dive into issues in this state that are of importance, and some investigative reporting where we're behind the scenes and asking the tough questions. A debate show, a good weekly debate show that. And some call-in shows, on television. On radio, we want to do a statewide radio network and a news network, and something that local radio stations throughout the state in small markets, small towns can feel like they're getting some conservative viewpoints, because very often they don't. They get news that comes from more liberal sources. So we want to do statewide syndicated talk shows. We want to do a local news breaks for Louisville. In the digital front, we're going to do so TV and radio, everything we do on TV and radio will actually be on digital too. So it'll be on social media and have its own YouTube channels and what they call OTT, which is Roku. We'll have a Roku app as well. We want to create unique content just for web. We're going to hire some kids to go do some great TikToks. Let's go out and find some TikTokers that know how to really move the needle on some issues. A news site like a Drudge Report, but it's for Kentucky news, right? So we get all the best conservative news stories out there and aggregate it into one site. And then we're just going to create a media hub here. We're in a studio at WBNA in Louisville, Kentucky. We want to see this place used to help move the needle on causes. And so if you're a politician or a think tank or a local, say, pro-life chapter or something, come use this facility. Use it to help develop something for your movement. And so that's the vision. It's not like we're reinventing the wheel. We're just trying to do this on a Kentucky level, and it's very doable. This state needs it. People would resonate to it, but we need your help. And so the whole point of this discussion tonight is we need your help. We need some seed funding to really get this kick-started. And we've got some basic foundations here. We've got TV, radio stations. We have some staff, a small skeleton staff, just to produce and run the content we do have. But starting a news department and news organization, it's very labor intensive because you're writing all this stuff from scratch. And we're not Fox News. We're not writing it to the whole country. We're writing it to just to Kentucky. It's a smaller audience. So the ad revenue is smaller because you have a smaller potential audience. So you need to be very smart about how you do this. And we do need some initial funding.
We are here to defend democracy.
Misinformation poses a threat to our nation's health.
Climate change is an emergency.
Democratic socialism.
Codify women's right to choose.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Before there's impact, and we can really have a great voice here in Kentucky, and it's a partnership with those who support it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And let me add, it won't be a voice that will be compromised by the corporate dollar.
Right.
It'll be, and that's why we need you. The viewer, the listener, to pick up the phone right now and call our toll-free number 833-KY-VOICE. And make a difference. Do it for yourself. Do it for your children, for your children's children. As far as us moving forward, and I believe we have a real opportunity. We have a small window right now that I think we can step in. You can step in and make a huge difference for the future of the state of Kentucky, Commonwealth of Kentucky, and more specifically, your children's children. Please, we're encouraging you right now to, and you can also go online and to WGTKTheAnswer.com. That's another great way to give. And Tom, you might even have some other ways that folks can give as well.
Exactly. If you go to that WGTK website, and actually we're going to put up a QR code on the screen right now where you can actually click on that with your phone. That will take you to the WGTK website, which is actually the link on that goes to a GiveSendGo site, and so that's our crowdfunding donation site where you can give your tax deductible donation to Word Media Group, which is the parent organization, but you're giving it to the Kentucky's Voice Project, and so just click on that QR code. That'll take you right there, or you can call the number that's on the screen, and also this is the end of the year, so a lot of people are looking for ways to take some of their hard-earned income and donate it for tax purposes. And we would encourage you to look at this. This is a tax-deductible gift to Word Media Group. And so, and also if you just want to leave a legacy, and if you're tired of seeing this state kind of just sometimes just the laughing stock of the country. It's like 50th in this and 49th in this and whatever. We don't have to live that way. Kentucky's a wonderful state, great resources, great people, and it's just we've really been just mismanaged for so many years, and we've had some fits and starts of some good things happening. We have a great Republican legislature who's doing some wonderful things, which I think our current governor probably took credit for all the good things that the Republican legislature did, and that's why he's probably reelected.
He did.
So there's a whole topic there, but just sort of good things happening here. But it is unconscionable that we have a Democrat governor in the state. What are we thinking? I mean, Trump won this. The Republican candidate for president in 2020, Donald Trump, won this state 2-1, and yet we can't elect a Republican governor. So why is it? Well, it's because of the narrative, because of Andy Beshear got such favorable coverage. He basically had an infomercial on the air, unchallenged, for a year and a half, 2 years during COVID. He was elevated to this role of superhero. And no one to challenge him, except for a few little podcasters online, that they were saying, what is this guy doing? No one challenged him, really. Except, politically, they were. Daniel Cameron took him to court a few times and won because of Beshear overstepped. But from a narrative standpoint, from the battle of the mind, and
Day to day, right?
in day to day, yeah. He ran the clock on. I mean, he just ran the tables on us. So it's just this needs to be done. If you believe and love the state and love the future and your grandchildren and your children's children, we ask for your support on this. So, Jim,
well, if there would have been a Kentucky's Voice as we went to develop it, he wouldn't have been able to do that.
That's right.
without a lot of pushback.
That's right.
Credit for policies that have been passed by conservatives.
Yes.
There would have been another voice on the air,
Exactly right.
pushing back.
Exactly right.
So that I think that's where. Also, if you want to see that, this is your opportunity to be a part of helping make that happen.
Exactly right. Yeah. Exactly right. So Bob, we'll make our final appeal here. That any gift is accepted. You can do a monthly support.
No gift is too small.
Yeah, no gift is too
certainly
small.
No gift is too big either. Mm-hmm. So
right.
we really need right now each and every one of you to pick up the phone and dial 833-KY-VOICE. Again, 833-KY-VOICE. Or you can simply give online, WGTKTheAnswer.com. Again, WGTKTheAnswer.com. Or you can give through the little, I'm not as technologically advanced as
QR code.
QR code.
The QR code. Yes.
You need to learn that, Bob.
Oh no! Yeah,
I have actually used one before, but
at the restaurant, just take your phone.
I've got teenage sons or a teenage son right now, so
that's right.
But there is. I guess what we're trying to say is we're really trying to make this as easy as we possibly can, and your gift is tax deductible, and there are too many times you can give to something like this and actually use it as a tax deductible gift. So we are at the end of the year. Christmas is upon us. Most people are feeling a little bit charitable right now. And what better way? I mean, honestly and truly, what better way to make an impact gift that's going to be generational by giving to this effort and being involved and count yourself as one of the cornerstone givers, if you will, that's going to make a change by planting that seed in good fertile soil. And let me assure you, this is good fertile soil. Now's your opportunity to do it.
If you want to be a major part of this, a major giver, we're happy to meet with you and talk to you and tell you more about our plans.
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah. There's several folks watching, or maybe if you were watching, you might know some folks that are of means and have some resources and they do this sort of thing. They either donate to causes like whatever political campaigns or United Way or whatever, and they're connected with maybe fundraising networks and groups. So they're folks that do this sort of thing on a regular basis. If you are one of those, or if you know people like that, we'd love to put this in front of them. And yes, we will. All three of us we'll meet with anyone who wants to talk about this. We're passionate about it. We're doing this for the cause, and not because we want to create some new media. Word Media Group does fine as a media group in this city. We're investing our funds and resources in this as well, and so, but we're doing it for the cause, not for some profit, because it's, it just is what it is. We're believers. We're true believers on this. So okay, we got to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the station. Support Kentucky's Voice if you can. If anything, just give us a prayer. Just pray for us, because much of what we do is spiritually based, and a lot of the battles we fight is cultural, which is lines up with things spiritual. So we really covet those prayers and appreciate your support in any way, and appreciate your consideration in helping us kickstart this project for Kentucky's Voice. We can make a difference, and we will. We will make a difference with your help. So thanks for watching the station.
We are here to defend democracy.
Misinformation poses a threat to our nation's health.
Climate change is an emergency.
Democratic socialism.
Codify one's right to choose.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15